AITA for refusing to babysit my sister-in-law's kids after discovering cruel texts she and my MIL sent about me while I watched them for free. I, 26F, have been married to my husband, 28M, for a few years now. While I wouldn't say I have a toxic relationship with his family, it's definitely not a close or affectionate one either. We keep things civil, attend family functions, exchange polite conversation, but that's pretty much the extent of it. I've always sensed some awkwardness and distance between me and them, especially from his mom and sister. It's hard to explain, but it always felt like I was being tolerated, not really accepted. My sister-in-law, 30F, and I have never had an outright fight or disagreement, but the energy between us is tense. She has a passive-aggressive streak, and there's always been this vibe that she sees me as beneath her or not quite good enough for her brother. Still, I never let it escalate. I always kept things cordial and polite. Life's too short for drama, and my husband means the world to me. So I've bitten my tongue more times than I can count just to keep the peace. That brings us to about 2 months ago, when SL asked me if I could start babysitting her kids on weekends. She has 2 children, a 4-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son. According to her, she rarely gets any me time because she's always stuck with the kids and I don't work weekends, so she thought it would be a win-win. My husband, ever the peacekeeper, encouraged me to do it. He thought it would help me bond with the kids and smooth over whatever unspoken tension existed between me and his sister. At first, I hesitated. She was very clear that she wouldn't be paying me because I'm family. I found that a bit presumptuous. Babysitting, especially for multiple hours on weekends, is work. But again, wanting to keep the peace and make my husband happy, I reluctantly agreed. And honestly, the kids are sweet, polite, fun, and well-behaved. She always gave me money for food, and the kids seemed to enjoy hanging out with me. So I started thinking maybe this wasn't such a bad arrangement after all. Until, of course, everything blew up. This past Friday, we were all gathered at my in-laws' house for a family dinner. It was a usual chaotic mix of noisy kids, too much food, and small talk. I was sitting next to my SIL on the couch, chatting idly about her daughter's new obsession with dinosaurs. Her phone was on the armrest next to her. At one point, a message notification popped up and I accidentally glanced over. It was a text from our mother-in-law in a group chat with SIL. What caught my attention wasn't the notification itself, but the preview of the message. She's so annoying. I can't believe he married her. I froze. My heart sank. I didn't want to assume, but as I kept looking, yes, I know I shouldn't have, more messages rolled in. They were mocking me, joking about my clothes, calling me dull, acting like I was some charity case they had to tolerate. It was cruel. It was gossipy. It was disrespectful. I was livid. I've been giving up my weekends for 2 months to help this woman for free, and this is how she talks about me, behind my back. And MIL too? What had I ever done to deserve that? I didn't cause drama. I didn't stir the pot. I just helped. And yet here they were, gossiping like mean girls in a high school clique. That night, I showed the messages to my husband. He tried to calm me down and told me not to make a big deal out of it. He said they didn't mean it, that it was just venting and that I shouldn't have looked at her phone. But he missed the point. I didn't go snooping. It was right in front of me. And even if I had gone snooping, what I found was deeply hurtful. I confronted my SIL and MIL the next day. They first deflected, then accused me of invading their privacy, and finally gave a weak, insincere apology that felt more like, sorry you saw it, than sorry we did it. I thought, at the very least, I deserved a genuine apology. I didn't get one. My husband, who I expected to stand by me, instead seemed more concerned with keeping the peace than defending me. That hurt more than anything. If he couldn't have my back when I was being disrespected by his own family, what did that say about where his loyalty truly lay? Then, as if nothing had happened, my SIL texted me on Sunday morning asking if I could come over and babysit again. I stared at the message in disbelief. No acknowledgement of what had happened. No further apology. Just a straight-up favor request like everything was normal. I replied, no. I can't believe you'd even ask me after everything that happened. Her response? Wow, over one text? You need to grow up. Now the entire in-law family is blowing up my phone. My MIL is telling me I'm making things worse. My SGL is playing victim, and my husband, he's barely talking to me. In fact, he moved to the guest room Sunday night and hasn't said more than a few words since. They all think I'm overreacting, that I'm the one making drama, that I'm the problem, but I can't wrap my head around it. I didn't lie. I didn't insult anyone behind their back. I didn't ask for this. I did everything to be helpful, and this is how they repay me? So now I'm sitting here, feeling isolated and confused. My husband is treating me like I committed some massive betrayal. My SIL and MIL are painting me as dramatic and unforgiving. And all I did was stand up for myself after being insulted and disrespected. It feels like I'm being punished for having boundaries. Like I'm not allowed to say, hey, it's not okay for you to talk about me like that, without everyone turning it into a war. I didn't ask for an all-out feud. I didn't yell or cause a scene. I simply said, no, I'm not going to babysit for someone who talks about me like that. The silence from my husband is the worst part. I expected at least a little empathy. He knows how hard I tried with his family. He encouraged me to do the babysitting in the first place. And now he can't even look me in the eye. They keep saying I'm overreacting, but if the roles were reversed, would any of them tolerate it? Would they babysit someone's kids every weekend just to find out that person has been mocking them behind their back? I'm starting to question whether I even want to be around this family anymore. I'm exhausted. So, AITA,